what I want to explain to you now is how a air conditioner works, or a climate control. All right, so I don't know if any one of you are expert in air conditioners or climate control units. Okay, that's cool, because then hopefully I can just explain and you won't know if I'm wrong anyway. Okay, so this is what we know. This is how an air conditioner works. If we set the temperature on, I don't know, what's a good temperature? What would you say? 23 degrees. Okay, so we set the temperature on 23 degrees Celsius. Now the idea of a climate control or air conditioner is that should the temperature go higher than 23 degrees, a cooling unit will kick in and it will push it down to 23. And should the temperature drop lower than 23 degrees, then obviously a heating component will kick in and push it up to 23 degrees Celsius. Make sense? All right, so on paper, that's how it's supposed to work. In real life, they don't build it like this, because this thing will just go on, off, on, off, on, off the whole time. Because if I breathe out, this room is hotter than 20 degrees Celsius. All right, and so what they do with climate controls or with air conditioners is they build in what they call an effectiveness zone. So they will build in an area, and for now we will just call it the EZ, all right, the effectiveness zone. And the idea would be, they would say, look, let's create the kind of a dead space. And so what we will do is we will say, if this temperature goes to 23.5 degrees Celsius, or let's say 22.5 degrees Celsius, we're going to leave some room for it to move in that area. All right. So if it's 23.2, 23.4, nothing's going to happen. 23.5, nothing's going to happen. As soon as it goes over 23.5, a regulating unit will kick in and it will push down the temperature to exactly 23 degrees Celsius. And the same when it goes down. So if it's 22.9, 22.7, nothing's going to happen. And to make it very effective, as soon as it goes lower than 22.5 degrees Celsius, a regulating unit will kick in and push it back up to 23 degrees Celsius. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, very interesting to know that after looking at a lot of neurology and a little bit of psychology, we figured out that humans work exactly the same. We have this regulating system inside of us, taking us always back to what we think is normal for us, all right? Now, did some research with a few people, and the one bit of research that they've done was with a person earning commission. All right. So let's say, for example, this person earned 10,000 Rand a month commission normally. That was the income. You know, they had to sell something, 10,000 Rand a month. That's what they earned. What we picked up is, if this person earns anything between 10,000 and 11,000, or anything between 9,000 and 10,000, we didn't see any change in this person's behavior. So 9,800, 9,700, you know, it just stayed the same. Or 10,300, 10,700, you know, that's a very nice salary, easy month. No change in behavior. Now, this is the question I want to ask you. What do you think was the change in behavior for this person when 1 month, I mean every month he's earning 10,000 Rand, but let's say this last month, all of a sudden he earned only 800 Rand. What do you think? How would his behavior change at work? That's what I want to know from you.
I definitely feel really worried.
Very worried, yes.
Very stressed.
Stressed? Okay. But how would that affect his behavior at work?
Well, he would either fight or flight. He'd either give it up and pack it in, or he would take up the challenge and find a way of getting him back to his expectations.
That is it. Super interesting. So if the guy decides to stay, there's no other option, so not the flight, then the fighting kicks in, and it's fascinating to see how his behavior changed. This guy comes to work early in the morning. So normally he would get there just after 8 or whatever. Now he's there before 8. He takes shorter lunch hours. He takes old files from old clients off the shelves, and become very creative. All right. All of this, I want to say, anxiety makes him act in a very productive way, because I am not the 800 Rand person. I'm a 10,000 Rand person. And all of that tension drives him to get back to 10,000 Rand. And so that's what we picked up when we looked at if you push this person out of his comfort zone. Now, what do you think would happen? I mean, this guy worked so hard this month. He actually now, the following month, he earned 22,000 Rand. That's what he earned. Now, just pause there for a second. He just proved he has the potential to earn 22,000 Rand every single month. He just showed that he can do it. He can work that hard. But what do you suggest? What does he do now?
I think he's made it. He doesn't need to do anything.
Absolutely. They actually said this guy becomes a pain at the office. He sits around and chats to people. He plays on his computer some games. He's often late for work. So, this is the important thing that you need to understand. It doesn't matter if we are way worse or if we are way better than what is normal to us. We always come back to what we believe is normal to us. When we look at humans, this 23 degrees Celsius, we will call that our self-image, all right? That is our self-image. That is the picture we hold of ourselves. That's what we know is the truth. This is the truth about me. And I will always go back. As soon as I am outside of what is the truth for me, an anxiety kicks in, and it actually wants to drive me back to what is normal for me.